Hi, I'm Kathy Zering, intuitive coach at Energy Rapport. Welcome to another energy focused video. Today, I wanted to talk to you about when feeling safe is the problem. And what I mean by that is when you're playing safe, right? When you're staying in your comfort zone and that's causing problems in your life to, fester or causing you to kind of just be unhappy and not be your full potential that you have the ability of being. So sometimes we're not even aware that this is, what we're doing until somebody close to you points it out. Or if you are working on your personal development, you begin to pay attention and notice it. So I'm going to give you some tips here on how you can do that. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get curious. Have this curiosity mindset and just pay attention to like the thoughts that are going on in your head or even things that you're saying, pay attention to that and kind of dig in a little bit deeper when you do hear things like, for example, some limiting beliefs might be I'm too old or I'm too young. I don't have any direct experience in this, so I'm sure to fail. I better not even try to do it. Or that's too hard. That's too scary. Just really things that sound very limiting and sound like it's coming from a good place, right? It's trying to keep you safe. But these preconceived ideas and these safe limiting beliefs are really what's holding you back from that more real and like radiant life experience that we're all looking for. In addition to like thinking or hearing yourself say things, it may show up in actions that you're taking or specifically things you're not doing. For example, like if you feel like you're not worth it or not worthy of something, or maybe you grew up in a household where money was tight, but now it's not anymore, but you still have these limiting thoughts around money. You may prevent yourself from going enjoying a good night out or an extravagant meal at a restaurant because it's too expensive, or you hear yourself saying it's too extravagant. That's not what we do. And then what you do is you stay safe, you stay comfortable, and you may order out, or you just may eat in as usual, right? Just in that comfort zone. So, pay attention to when you may be limiting your potential and then get curious to see if these thoughts, these beliefs, or these actions are keeping you stuck. Sometimes feeling safe is the problem that's prolonging pain, illness, hardships, unresolved trauma. It could be the solution of changing these limiting beliefs, right? In order to, find benefit from some of these things that you're going through. So try taking an action to bust out of that struggle mode, as I call it. And, sometimes the only way out is by going through it. I'll give you an example with me. So probably in the past 10 years or so, I developed this aversion to driving on mountainsides. Probably happened when I was moving to North Carolina and I was on the tippity top of some mountain range and the storm broke out and I saw lightning in the distance and wind swirling around and it got super dark. And then the rain came down where you couldn't even see. And I had to pull off to the side. The wind, the car was shaking from the wind. It was like terrifying. Um, Regardless, I mean, it eventually got better. I eventually got back on the road. I made it down here. I'm still alive, yes, but it was terrifying at the time. Um, it's very difficult to feel safe and difficult to drive, right? When you're panicking and you don't feel safe. I knew it was a challenge for me, but luckily, like where I live, it's pretty flat. I don't really go on mountainsides at all until I decided to go to Maui, Hawaii, for a master level energy healing training that I was looking forward to. I knew it was for me. My intuition was telling me, you need to go to this training. It was the next step in my progression. And yeah, Maui, I mean, I've never been. Why not? And so after booking everything and looking more closely how I was going to get to the location where they were having the training, I realized the only road to get to that east side of the island was called the Hana Highway, right? And Hana is the town on the east side. Um, and that highway is considered one of the most dangerous roads in the world to drive on. It's about 52 miles long, narrow, winding. You've got the ocean on one side, you've got the mountainside on the other with these rocks that could come barreling down on you. You see the netting, holding them up because it's a rainforest that you're driving through, right? So you get these rainstorms coming through, tremendous amount of water moving. Gorgeous. You've got like the waterfalls, you've got all kinds of flowers and views, right? The ocean views, but again, terrifying, at least for me. And a lot of other people from what I've read. And so it's 52 miles long, like I said, but it takes 3 to 4 hours to travel because also not just winding and narrow, but you've got over 600, they call them white knuckle switchbacks. So those are like you're driving up this curve and you're turning and you can't see anything. I mean, somebody could be coming right at you. So it's like a blind turn that you have to make. There's the steep cliff drops, like I said, falling rocks potentially, and numerous like one-lane bridges. So you may even have to back up if you get across this bridge and then all of a sudden you're face to face with somebody else. Um, but regardless, I trusted my intuition that this training was for me, despite all this anxiety, right? So leading up to the trip, I was asking everybody on the airplane, I was asking everybody at the hotel that I stayed at before making the drive, like I was looking for somebody to confirm to me, it's not that bad. Unfortunately, I found nobody that would confirm that for me. They all said, take it slow, go slowly, it is dangerous. Um, and I have to say, like driving on that road, it was one of the most vulnerable, terrifying ordeals I've ever been through. Um, but when I returned safely home, I mean, I was so glad that I pushed through it. Sometimes again, like the only way out is by going through something. And I felt like I experienced like this quantum leap of personal and spiritual development that week, not just from the training that I got, but like just going through that whole ordeal, and trusting my intuition, letting go of the fear, and pushing through that safe space. And that's what I want to ask you. And I give you a little bit of a challenge here too. What's the last thing you did that pushed you out of your safe space? Now, if you could think of something right off the bat, share it, please, in a comment below. And hopefully that'll inspire other people to take these kind of actions. And if you can't remember one, you want to ask yourself, what's one thing you can do today that may make you a bit uncomfortable, but it's going to help you grow and get you closer to, any desires or any goals that you have for yourself. So, and you can add that to a comment too, if you're going to challenge yourself and think of doing one thing or taking one small step towards that today. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. I hope this helped.